Hello, this is Teacher Wayne, and my last video I did a HUD, got this working, and now I've got some HUD code I want to show you. So things actually start to happen. The player will take damage when the zombie hits them, and eventually the player will die. So let me just show you this first, and then I'll explain how I set it up, and I'll go through the code as well. So I'm just going to press play. So here we go. So the zombie runs towards us, he starts attacking us, and as you can see at the top here, my health is dropping, it's dropping, it's battling away. That's a distance of 3 now. You can make it so the zombie's closer. I did show you in a previous video how to do that, and I'm just going to stand here and let it happen, and there you go. I've died and it exits the game. So that is my HUD code. Now let me just show you how I got that working. So I've given a link to this, and this is the new code called HUD. Now I'll explain how we set it up first. In fact, I'm going to remove it and do it all from scratch. So I've got to do new player code as well that links to the HUD. Let me explain the player code first. So here's a line I've added called public HUD, which links to the HUD code. That is the name of the class called HUD. If you look there, I think in an earlier video I explained that HUD, the name of this has to be the name of this. So that HUD is that HUD there, and also the file name is called HUD as well, same capitalization. Keeps things simple when you have got the same, but our local reference to it is lowercase HUD. That's one change in the player script. Another bit here is in the update section. I'm calling the show health function within the HUD code, so that as the player takes damage it shows what the current health is as it goes down. And here's some extra code. So if the player's health is less than or equal to 0, now the player's health is 100 to begin with, then it exits the editor. Because we are playing it within the Unity editor, this is the editor screen here, it will stop it playing. That's all it does, and it comes up with a little message, the debug as well. If you create an app with it, you want to run that one, by the way. And this one is if we have, you can actually have a death scene. We could look at all that later. I've just put them in as extra lines of code for now. That is the oh yes, here some extra code here is when the zombie attacks us, our health reduces by 1 every time it hits. I'll talk about that in a minute by going through the zombie code. So it reduces, and that's just a link to what our current player health is, a function that is called outside. So if we go to the HUD code first, let me go through this. So this line here is the health bar. It gives us a link to the image. Remember, we have got a image in our game, and there's our image. It's this line at the top. That is actually an image, and because we want to do this with it, we want to change its value by changing this fill amount. So if we look at this here, we're going to be changing that fill amount, but we don't do that there. That's a link to the player, and that's the current value of the health. So here, let me go through the code. So the first thing it does is it finds the player, and it finds what the player health is. I've already mentioned this, but that tells the player, returns what the health is for the player, this function here, and then it just simply, well, then we show health, but this is the bit here. So that fill amount, remember I talked about the fill amount, is this fill amount here. Fill amount is that fill amount. So it changes the fill amount to whatever the current percentage is, and the current percentage is whatever the current value is divided by 100 because we set our max health to 100. That's why it's divided by 100. If we ever reduced our health below 100, we'd have to change that to whatever the max health is. This is the max health there, and we're setting it there. So anyway, this sort of displays it on the head-up display. It's quite a simple little function, the HUD.cs. I provided this so you can literally just copy and paste it. Now the zombie code here, this is already done actually. You've already got, there's no change here. Basically, if the distance is less than 3, I've already mentioned all this before, I think in my previous, but this I've not mentioned. This was already there, I believe. So basically, it just does a little to stop the zombie just doing infinite attacks, because it can literally attack at 60 frames a second, so it can attack 60 times a second. We don't want the player being hit 60 times every second. It's not a realistic game. You want to reduce it. So we have this what's known as a code routine to reduce how quickly it goes. So this is called attack, this function here, and what it does is it quarter of a second. So it's the weight between how fast the player goes. Get rid of this. That's a nonsense comment. But this is 0.25 of a second. So the zombie can actually hit the player 4 times a second. Now you might want to reduce that or increase that depending on how difficult you want. If that changes the health, and that allows the zombie to attack again because it's set to false. If you look here, if it's not attacked, then it does that. So this basically all this function does is it kind of means that the zombie can attack 4 times a second, and that is basically all the new code, and I've just literally just gone through it quite quickly with you all. I hope you enjoyed that. This is Teacher Wayne showing you a quick demo, and I'll just finish this little video off by playing it again. So now we've got, I've gone through the code and now I've talked about it. Now I'm going to re-link it all to show you. So I'm going to add the HUD code back here, and we link the health to there. Can you see what I did? I just dragged and dropped that there, and I dragged the HUD code there. And if we go to the player, we need to link the HUD, which is here, to there. And that, I think you'll find, is it. Let's have a look. Let me just check it works. Yeah, there you go. So this is Teacher Wayne saying goodbye, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, by the way, and thank you.